Biggest misconception about your involvement in Fyre Festival?
Is that I committed a crime.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 celebrity comeback fails.
We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter.
I want to put the tomfoolery and malarkey behind me. It's time for that clean slate.
And things get a little tense.
Do you ever worry about your moment having passed?
For this list, we'll be looking at famous people who attempted a career comeback and failed. They may still be working in their respective fields, but are no longer as popular as they once were. We're not including athletes though, so Ryan Lochte will not count. Do you wish to see these people in the spotlight again? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Ray J. This rapper hit his peak in the mid-2000s. His fourth studio album, All I Feel, reached number 7 on the Billboard 200 chart, and its lead single, Sexy Can I, reached number 3 and went platinum.
Sexy can I, just pardon my manners.
Every one of his subsequent singles have failed to chart on the Hot 100, with the exception of I Hit It First, which reached number 51 in 2013. The song makes reference to the adult film Kim Kardashian Superstar, featuring his ex and himself, and released in March of 2007.
I hop in the club and pop a show love, and I don't even put in work.
The 2010s has seen Ray J hosting Oxygen's Bad Girls All-Star Battle and competing on both My Kitchen Rules and Celebrity Big Brother. The latter stint only lasted a week as he left the show after blacking out from tooth pain.
I'm done with Vegas. I hate Vegas. Never again.
Number 19, Dustin Diamond. Many child actors flounder after their big show has ended, and Dustin Diamond is one of them. Diamond famously played Screech on Saved by the Bell, which ran while Diamond was entering his teenage years.
We are going to play a piece by Johann Sebastian Bach.
A piece? Why can't we play the whole thing?
He later reprised the role for The New Class, which ran until 2000 when Diamond was 23. And that was about it for him. He went on to direct an adult film titled Screeched, Saved by the Smell, and released a behind-the-scenes book called Behind the Bell, which was fiercely criticized and rejected by his co-stars.
Looking back now, in my 30s, I realized that was really dumb.
He attempted a comeback in 2013 by competing on Celebrity Big Brother, but a 2014 arrest and 4-month prison sentence pretty much ended his career for good.
I want to put the tomfoolery and malarkey behind me. It's time for that clean slate.
Number 18, Denise Richards. This ex-fashion model was quite a big name in the late 90s and early 2000s. She starred in the likes of Starship Troopers and The World Is Not Enough before marrying Charlie Sheen.
Are you here for a reason? Or are you just hoping for a glimmer?
They were married from 2002 to 2006, and their messy divorce kept Richards in the spotlight. Despite some valiant efforts, Richards hasn't been able to reclaim her past glory. She's starred in many B-movies and a few short-lived TV shows, and she's now acting in the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful.
No wonder he was looking for something better. The hell is wrong with you?
Like many attempting a comeback, she's also transitioned into reality TV, joining the main cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I've never experienced this with you.
Number 17, Ciara. This R&B artist was huge throughout the 2000s and early 2010s, with 4 of her first 5 albums peaking in the top 5. Her second, Ciara The Evolution, reached number 1 in 2006. Her singles also performed well. Goodies peaked at number 1 in 2004, and both 1-2 Step and O reached number 2. Following Love, Sex, Magic in 2009, none of her singles have breached the top 10. She's remained in the spotlight thanks to public relationships with rapper Future and NFL player Russell Wilson, but her music career isn't what it once was. Her last 2 albums, Jackie and Beauty Marks, reached number 17 and number 87 respectively on the Billboard 200.
Okay, I've got to change something up here.
Number 16, Mischa Barton. Entertainment Weekly named Mischa Barton the It Girl of 2003, owing to her work as Marissa Cooper on The OC. The show ran for 4 seasons between 2003 and 2007. Barton starred in the first 3 before her character was killed off in the 3rd season finale.
Ryan, look out!
Ever since then, Barton has struggled to retain her It Girl status. She's appeared in many independent films and competed on Dancing with the Stars in 2016.
It's Potter time!
However, she was just the second person eliminated. She too eventually went the reality TV route and joined the cast of The Hills' New Beginnings in 2019.
So I thought, okay, I'll take this seriously now and think about it.
Number 15, Iggy Azalea. This Australian singer burst onto the scene in history-making fashion, literally. She became just the second artist in history to hold the top 2 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 with their debut entries on the chart in 2014. The Beatles did it in 1964 with I Wanna Hold Your Hand and She Loves You, and Azalea poetically matched it 50 years later with Fancy and Problem.
In no time I'll be forgetting all about you.
She was a guest artist on the latter, but the record still counted. Unfortunately, her star has since fallen from grace. In My Defense reached number 50, a far cry from the new classic's peak at number 3. Her last single to peak in the top 5 was Black Widow in 2014, with none of the singles from In My Defense even breaching the top 50.
Like it'll last forever, but now forever ain't as long.
Number 14, Sharon Stone. The 90s belonged to Sharon Stone. She received 1 Academy Award and 4 Golden Globe nominations for Basic Instinct, Casino, The Mighty, and The Muse. Her role as Ginger in Casino was particularly acclaimed, as it won her the Golden Globe and earned Stone her only Oscar nomination. Basic Instinct also made her a national sex symbol, and by 1995, Stone had a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
If I was guilty and I wanted to beat that machine, it wouldn't be hard.
Unfortunately, a string of disappointments followed in the 2000s, including Catwoman and the embarrassing Basic Instinct 2, which essentially killed her career for a decade.
You know what I like about you? You enjoy being in control.
Stone has attempted a comeback of sorts, appearing in The Disaster Artist and The Laundromat, but she has yet to recapture the magic.
Pick me up! Pick me up! Do you just... I'd like to speak to you for a minute.
Number 13, Ashlee Simpson. The younger sister of Jessica Simpson made some waves in the mid-2000s with her albums Autobiography and I Am Me. Both reached number 1 on the Billboard 200, both were certified platinum, with Autobiography going 3 times platinum, and Pieces of Me proved a big hit, peaking at number 5 on the Hot 100.
When I hit that bottom crash, you're all I have.
Unfortunately, Simpson hasn't released any music as a solo artist since 2008, aside from a non-album single in 2012 that failed to chart. She's now part of a duo called Ashlee and Evan with her husband Evan Ross, and they released an EP in 2018 that failed to generate much discussion.
You're asking me if I trust you. I do.
They also launched an e-reality show, but that only lasted for 6 episodes.
Basically, the solution was in front of me the whole time.
Number 12, Fergie. Like many on this list, Fergie was huge in the 2000s. She was obviously a big part of the Black Eyed Peas, but she also saw success as a solo artist with the Duchess. Released in 2006, the Duchess reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 and was certified 5 times platinum. The album also spawned 3 number 1 singles, London Bridge, Glamorous, and Big Girls Don't Cry, and 1 number 2 with Fergalicious.
Fergalicious definition, make them boys go loco.
After about a decade away, aside from a song on the Great Gatsby soundtrack, Fergie returned with Double Dutchess. It wasn't nearly as successful. It only reached number 19 and failed to generate any successful singles. The most successful, LA Love, La La, peaked at number 27. Number 11, Paris Hilton. Despite coming from an uber-successful and unfathomably rich family, Paris Hilton made a name for herself through modeling and reality TV.
Will you ever worry me like that again?
She notably starred on The Simple Life alongside Nicole Richie from 2003 to 2007. While her dumb blonde, spoiled persona was obviously played up for the camera, the show made her insanely famous. Most of that fame came at her own expense, but she clearly didn't care. And while she's still making bank through her numerous business ventures today, Hilton's public spotlight has faded. She's dabbled in DJing in recent years and went back to reality TV with Viceland's Hollywood Love Story, but that came and went. She was also the subject of a YouTube original documentary titled This Is Paris in 2020.
I like animals more than people.
Number 10, Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice became a worldwide megastar with Ice Ice Baby. The song was an enormous hit, peaking at number 1 in 8 different countries, including the United States and Zimbabwe. In fact, it made history by becoming the first hip-hop single to reach the top of the Billboard Hot 100.
Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.
Ice took a break from music in 1993, but when he returned, his subsequent records received little fanfare. He did find success with his DIY network show, The Vanilla Ice Project, thanks to his experience in home improvement.
Some people got no reason.
In 2011, he released his comeback album, WTF, Wisdom, Tenacity, and Focus. It was not a success, and Vanilla Ice hasn't charted on the Hot 100 as a lead artist since Cool as Ice hit number 81 in 1991.
Only in Vegas, baby.
Number 9. Katherine Heigl. Another big 2000s star, Katherine Heigl first gained some fame in 1999 starring as Isabel Evans on the WB's Roswell. She rode this role to greater success, including her Emmy-winning performance on Grey's Anatomy and movies like Knocked Up and 27 Dresses.
No, I just don't.
That time would prove the height of her career. She's since starred in many movies, but none of them were very popular or that good. Most of Heigl's work can be found on television. The mid to late 2010s saw her star in State of Affairs, Doubt, and Suits. The first two were canceled after just one season, and her role in Suits lasted 2.
I'm upset because if you have any issue with me, you should come to me and not go around me.
Heigl is still receiving steady work, but the recent TV comeback fails to match her Grey's Anatomy heights.
There is nothing to talk about. Do you understand me? There is nothing to discuss.
Number 8. Guns N' Roses. This hard rock band was once one of the biggest in the world, with their first 4 studio albums reaching either number 1 or number 2 and selling over 5 million copies each in the United States alone.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
Things slowed down with 1993's The Spaghetti Incident, as it only reached number 4, and ended the band's multi-platinum run. It would be 15 years until the band returned, and the results were underwhelming. On November 23, 2008, the world finally received Chinese Democracy, which received middling reviews and sold only 1 million copies. The long-awaited comeback was completely dead in the water. Luckily, both Slash and Duff McKagan saved the band by touring with Axl and Company on the incredibly successful Not in This Lifetime tour. Number 7. Lil Kim. This New York rapper got her start through the Notorious B.I.G. by joining his group, Junior Mafia. This led to a highly successful solo career throughout the late 90s and 2000s, which included 3 top 10 albums. 2001 also saw her singing Lady Marmalade, the highly successful single from Moulin Rouge. But like Guns N' Roses, Lil Kim took a major hiatus. There was a 14-year break between 2005's The Naked Truth and 2019's 9, and the wait was not really worth it according to most accounts. The album received mixed reviews from critics and performed poorly, failing to land on any major charts or generate any notable singles. Number 6. Tara Reid. This American actress had quite a respectable movie career throughout the late 90s and early 2000s. She appeared as Bunny in The Big Lebowski and went on to star as Vicky in the American Pie franchise.
I've had one. I think.
Rounding out her filmography were works like Josie and the Pussycats, My Boss's Daughter, Van Wilder, and a stint on Scrubs. Something happened around 2005 and Reid just disappeared.
You know, you should always try to go to the bathroom before you leave the house, even if you don't have to.
Not completely, as she was still in things, but the hits had certainly dried up. Reid then tried her hand at reality TV, including Celebrity Big Brother and her own show Paradise, before settling on the B-movie turned cult Sharknado series. Number 5. Ellen DeGeneres. There was once a time when Ellen DeGeneres was the biggest name in entertainment. Her historic coming out as a lesbian both paved trails and ignited controversy, and her follow-up talk show proved enormously successful.
And why are you just getting this?
While coming out nearly tanked her career, it was the talk show that ultimately did. In 2020, BuzzFeed reported through anonymous employees that working for Ellen was akin to hell on earth, complete with harassment and racist comments.
Just one question, just what else does he want? I don't know what you're telling him, but just ask him what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry. While her show wasn't canceled, the 18th season premiere faced significant backlash. Outlets criticized her opening monologue, and the YouTube video's like-to-dislike ratio skews heavily towards the latter. It was also reported that the show's premiere week viewership was down 30% from last year.
It's all love. Yeah. That's all that's real is love. Absolutely. That's the truth.
Number 4, Ja Rule. This rapper released a string of successful albums throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, 6 of which peaked within the top 10 on the Billboard 200. These include Rule 336 and Pain is Love, both of which reached number 1, and both of which were certified multi-platinum. However, Ja Rule has subsequently faced numerous legal issues throughout his career, including a 2-year prison sentence in 2010 and another 28-month sentence the following year.
Here I am, in a bad situation 10 years later after all the things that I've done, all the success that I've had.
He was released in 2013 and just 3 years later started the infamous Fyre Media Inc. It could have been a huge business and public comeback, but the Fyre Festival proved so disastrous that he faced a $100 million class action lawsuit instead.
Biggest misconception about your involvement in Fyre Festival?
Is that I committed a crime.
Number 3, Charlie Sheen. By 2010, 2.5 Men was proving so popular that Charlie Sheen was earning nearly $2 million per episode. However, his personal life wasn't nearly as triumphant. Sheen was well known for his substance abuse and reckless behavior, especially with the latter allegedly aimed towards his then-wife, Brooke Muller, and the trashing of a hotel suite.
Oh, gee, Charlie, that may not be the best idea.
I don't recall asking for your opinion.
He was eventually dismissed from 2.5 Men, and while the resulting press put him in the news, the termination effectively killed his career. Sheen attempted a comeback with roles in Scary Movie 5 and a show called Anger Management, and while the latter ran for 100 episodes, it received poor reviews. The comeback was a fail, and Sheen hasn't been seen in movies or TV since 2017.
All right, let's just put this whole damn thing behind us. May the filth be with you.
Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. There once was a time when Lindsay Lohan was a promising and ambitious actress.
So cute. I mean, A sub n equals n plus 1/4.
But her life and career hit unexpected road bumps in the mid-2000s, and Lohan went through a highly publicized downward spiral filled with bad press, substance abuse, and both rehab and prison stints. 2019's Among the Shadows proved her first feature-length movie in 6 years, although it was only released through video on demand and received little attention. She also launched her own reality show on MTV called Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club, but it was canceled after just 1 season.
And that's important. It was like a wake-up call.
Her comeback efforts are nevertheless valiant, and she found some success playing Katarina West in the 2nd season of Sky One's Sick Note.
Why does that bother you?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Roseanne Barr. Few comebacks have crashed and burned like this one. Barr's sitcom Roseanne was a huge hit throughout the 90s, remaining a top 4 show for 6 of its 9 seasons.
I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? Throw myself off a bridge?
Yeah, and take your brother and sister with you.
It came to a controversial end in 1997 with a divisive series finale. Luckily for fans, it was revived by ABC and brought back for a 10th season in 2018. It was actually a huge success, with the premiere episode generating nearly 20 million viewers.
What happened?
I thought you were dead.
It lasted all of 2 months. Barr made a racist comment on Twitter, which she proceeded to blame on Ambien. The show was immediately canceled amidst the controversy, as was Barr herself. She once again faded into irrelevancy, and everyone else moved on to the Connors without her.
I thought the bitch was white! God damn it!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.